Stay tuned for more stories with Art. Oh, yeah.
Stand by for the 23rd activator. It's Shenanigan.
What was activated number 17? All again? What is up, Ham Radio? Evo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is time for some shenanigans. And you know, shenanigans can never be complete without, I'm your Uncle Terry. No, I'm kidding. Without the Patreons, which Uncle Terry is one of. These guys are absolutely awesome. I got set some stories that we're going to talk about some of these guys from this past weekend where we had an absolute time, as well as some of these guys I got to hang out with this weekend as well. So everything's going great. Thank you very much for the YouTube members as well, and the ever-changing Adventure Club board. Charlie Whiskey Bravo, thank you very much for the off-stream donation at the show, which got you on the board. Not in the bubble spot either. You moved up quickly. So also shout out to Michael Eastern Standard Time for an off-stream donation, and to Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Victor Kilo. Yeah. Not only did he do an off-stream donation, he doubled it 25 seconds later. So he was really nuts, if you know what I mean. We'll just say that. But anyway,
let me tell you what. Craig's donation was so loud, I heard it from here.
Funny story about Craig. So last night during our late shift, you know, Craig was up at the show. You know, I saw Craig this weekend, hung out with Craig this weekend. But he had said something about he might go home on Saturday. I never seen him, so I figured maybe he did. But when we did late shift last night, here he comes in, and I asked him. I said, "You're 5'9" plus." I said, "Is this park apart from this park?" He said, "No, I'm home."
Yeah, I don't mind.
Good Lord. Yeah. Oh, first off, man, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, even if you didn't go to Dayton. This guy. Good to see everybody in the chat. Andy Callie, always good to see brother Toby. Zulu Romeo X-Ray, Ronnie, good to see you. FSZ, good to see you, Chris, Terry, and a whole bunch of Reed, ABHAS, good to see you, buddy. And November 4th, Charlie Whiskey Bravo, we were just talking about you. Terry, apparently you play taxi. John Carr, good to see you. Larry Bingham, Frank, and PP Man, and Tata is here as well.
We're going to talk about him just as well because let me tell you, he messed with my head during activation.
Yeah, he told me. I got him. I called him and he told me the shenanigans he pulled on you.
So first off, I'm sorry my voice is all crazy. Between it looking like it was snowing, being 90 degrees in Ohio from pollen. I'm talking about there was times we were driving down the road and I thought we were driving in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Between that and somehow biting the crap out of my tongue on Saturday night while I was eating some really, really good Angry Alfredo. I mean, really good. This year they stepped it up. I think
it was so good you were trying to eat your tongue.
It was extra angry, so I made myself angry, and that made my activation really, really hard that night. I'll tell you that. But first we're going to let the elephant out of the room first. Just after, because there's a lot of people that I know what's going to start popping up in the chat soon if I don't get this elephant out of the room. So when Terry picked me up, to leave, I found out something. I found out that him and our good friend Clarice have been secretly seeing each other. And he drove to North Carolina to pick her up first and had her in the car to go to Dayton with us. I mean, I was really, really shocked when I found this out. But that's how, if anybody wants to know how Clarice got to Dayton, and we're going to talk a lot about her, and Terry, because I'll tell you, some disturbing things happen.
It sounds like it.
So, number one, I was running 2 meters all weekend, and I'm going to be giving random shout outs for other things. Craig, if you missed the beginning, make sure and go back and check your shout out, but you're getting more shout outs for other things. But so I got my 2 meter on all weekend because we had a talk in frequency. We had an 8-track group talking frequency, which was awesome because one night, I hadn't activated Caesars, and right before late shift, we was on our way to do late shift in our big op activation. There were some people that wanted to hunt me. So as soon as I hit the gate at Caesars Creek, I jumped on our Discord call-in frequency and I called CQ POTA. And by the time I pulled in to the campsite to get out and set up for late shift, I had 18 calls for early shift.
That is nice.
18 calls. So yeah, but I'm going to tell you what Clarice did. She haunted my radio. I had my APRS modem turned off. I had my APRS GPS turned off, and I didn't even have the APRS frequency on neither one of the A or B. I was still beaconing APRS everywhere I went.
Well, that's because Clarice has a tracker.
I mean well, maybe she needs one because 1 minute.
Well, I mean, after who she spent the weekend with, I would highly recommend one.
Well, 1 minute she was trying to make it up to me, being my friend again, and come over and activate with me, and the next minute she's wearing an ICOM hat, and I told her we couldn't even be friends.
Go, Clarice.
I was like, you got to go back. You got to go back to North Carolina. So then she goes over and playing trucks with some of the boys. She's over there, and we're setting up, and then I don't know what she does over there. She just disappears. The next thing I know, I'm going in Terry's tent to wake him up, and you guys in Discord probably seen the picture. Terry's knocked out cold and cuddling up with her. They're all cuddled up in bed. I mean, there's a picture in Discord if you don't believe me.
That is great.
But Terry's no real romantic, I'm going to tell you, because while she was sleeping in the car on the way up there, we're going to pick up my media pass.
Oh, wait. All right, so I got a question about this cuddling first. Okay, so let's get back to this. Were they nose to nose or butt to butt?
No, they were nose to nose.
Okay.
Nose to nose.
Just
I
check.
did watch her grab Terry's butt at one of the activations.
You got to watch out for Clarice now. She'll sneak one in on you.
But while she was asleep in the back of the car, we're going to get my media pass. Terry sees a woman on a hover round.
Uh-oh.
And he gets all excited. And she's getting ready to cross the road. He pulls up, blocks the road to stop her, rolls down her window. Can I have your number? And she gives him what is now known as resting hover round face. And that's not pretty.
Oh, that is great.
He tried to act like Sherry. He did try to drive on the sidewalk, but he could only get one tire on it. I mean, this guy,
I was gonna ask during the 20 op activation. I was gonna, because I somehow made it through the pilot, and I was gonna ask, what's the call sign of the 17th operator again, please?
Well, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So when we're doing a 20 op, which is probably POTA history, I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody's ever done 20.
We need to break that in Huntsville this year, by the way.
Well, see, my record was 12 from Huntsville last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, Liz and them got close the other night in Caesar's Creek and did an 11. And I was like, oh, no, we're going to shatter this stuff. So that's why we hit this 20 up. But, it was a pilot. But first off, I want to give a shout out to all the kids that showed up to that activation. Because I ran maybe the first 20 calls. And then I switched kids in and out, making them run them pilot.
They did an excellent job.
Did an absolute awesome job. Like, just hands down, they just smashed it.
Hearing those kids run a pilot is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. It was just really, and I didn't even start with the oldest. I started with the youngest. I started with little Kaylee right after me. She came in and she came straight to the mic and she just went to town. And every one of them did an outstanding job, and it just really, really excites me for this kids POTA competition, and it's getting all the details are coming in really good. I did pick one judge, got one judge lined out, one of the three, so it's really getting exciting. It's looking like maybe August and September is when some of the testing is going to start for these kids. So
awesome! And you got one of your yearly goals knocked out of the way this weekend.
I did get one of my goals knocked out of the way this weekend. So I went to Dayton. I had 9 out of 10 new Patreons to me activated. So that meant if I had activated with a Patreon before this year, they didn't count. And I activated with plenty of Patreons. But I went there I had 9 out of 10. Needed one more. You think I could get one more? No, I got 3 more.
Yeah.
Got Kilo Oscar 4 Zulu Romeo X-Ray. I got Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Victor Kilo. Oh,
that's nuts.
Oh man, nuts! I'm telling you. He did kick Steven out of the wheel and put me in it, so I shouldn't talk too much trash. And I also got Larry Kilo Echo 8 Uniform Kilo X-Ray who was also in on some shenanigans with Dan.
Yes.
They tried their best to set me up, guys.
That was a long-term shenanigan, too. That was in the works for at least 3 or 4 months. That took some planning.
So I'm hanging out at Liz's campground with all the kids and stuff. Next thing I know, Larry's trying to give me a gift from him and Dan. And, he says it's in the refrigerator over there. And I'm very wary of this stuff. I'm kind of scared to open this refrigerator. So I get closer and closer to the refrigerator, and all the kids are just watching like with fear in their eyes. and I think it was Caleb. I'm not sure. One of the littlest ones, their eyes got really, really big as I was getting ready to open. I was like, uh-oh. So I stand on the side and I crack it open and I peek in there. And I shut the door and I was like, nope. Like, oh, you got to take it with you. You got to take it with you. So as a good king would do, he orders the jester to go pick up the prize. and he takes pictures of the jester as well. So Terry got to get the H-Rag Bud Light out of the refrigerator,
The official A-Track Bud Light.
which Terry ended up drinking. So
Absolutely.
go ahead
Absolutely.
and throw that out of there.
We'll
Okay.
show the video, Larry. I got to do some doctoring to it. It was flipped, and I got to do a little bit of rotation, but it will be up and forever for all of history. Very
It'll
good.
be up. It'll be up. And unless he does some real good doctoring, you won't see my hands touch it.
You do got to admit, last year the angle of you when you were pushing away
looked like
you. It looked like you just had it
That's
dead
why
in your
I
hand.
wouldn't even touch it.
Oh, it was so nice.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't even touch it for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much for Liz and the fam for helping do that long-term little prank we were trying to get on James. Or like I said, that was in the works for at least the last 3 or 4 months.
No, wait, Dan, you're gonna love this part. So I hiked over, and when I say I hiked, I did hike because I actually had to take a trail to get to them. So I hiked over to their camp when we got there that one evening before we went to the QRP event, and because Ian and his dad was over there. Tim's a Patreon. I got to actually meet him as well, so met another new Patreon. But I get over there and we're hanging out. Well, when it gets time to go to the QRP event, I just called Steven. I was like, "Hey, y'all pick me up over here. This is where I'm at." So they send Terry, and they're waiting at the front gate. So Terry pulls in, and he gets out of the car and he says, "I'm your Uncle Terry." All the kids went around and got behind adults. They all got behind adults. They were all scared of Uncle Terry.
That is hilarious.
But I will say another shout out to Craig, Charlie Whiskey Bravo, because he did bring me a nice supply of Bucky's fudge as well.
Ooh.
And a shout out to Mr. Nuts, Uniform Victor Kilo, technically to Mr. Nuts' wife, for sending me some homemade fudge and some homemade cookies. And she allowed Mr. Victor, Uniform Victor Kilo, to bring his nuts to Dayton.
Yeah, Stephen was there. That's his nuts.
Yes, Stephen was there, and after I give a shout out to Kilo Yankee 4 Alpha X-Ray Patrick for keeping me stocked up with Dr. Pepper for the weekend as well. We're going to give a shout out to Patreon Stephen, because he's a good Patreon, and he sees me walking around with my handheld, and I lost my signal stick, and it used to go straight on to my radio. So I had another antenna which had a host of. I did a damn job of adapters going up there. So I got this stack of adapters. So when I went and bought my new signal stick, I wanted to go B and C anyway, and I was just going to put it on my top of my stack of adapters there. But he said no. He went and got me one adapter. So shout out to him as well.
Somebody did a YouTube video. I think it was oh man, I don't remember who it was, but they did an actual thing about if you have 1,000 adapters versus just one, how much loss is there, and it was very negligible.
So we're gonna throw this out right here about Kilo Oscar 4 Fox Sierra Zulu's Memorial Day sale. Make sure and check that out. But also, even when he's not got a sale going, you can now go there. And I've been waiting to talk to Robbie. I haven't got it on the page yet, but you can now go there at any time and use the code HRAG and save.
Absolutely. Save a little money.
And we used one of his antennas with that 20-op activation this weekend. We used one with the 7-op. So all you guys that got those contacts that you've not received yet because no logs have been turned in.
And I'll give you a hint that's not on his website, and he might kill me for saying this because he has no idea what I'm about to say. So this is going to be funny. If you buy one of each of his antennas, I bet he'll give you a discount. That might be better than you think. So buy them all because they're all good.
So we've got Ontario a little bit. We've mentioned that Steve's dad is. Listen, I did make it perfectly clear to Stephen that his mother better not call me saying I weren't her husband. She better call Stephen. Stephen brought him. And I'm going to say that the first time I ever met Stephen's dad, an ex-preacher, he got a pleasant surprise from me. I'm not even going to say it on YouTube. If you hang out and chill pad with me, you'll find out what that was. And Stephen has a video that he'll probably put in Patreon video of that meeting. But he got a pleasant surprise from me.
The Duke of Alabama's in the house. Tip my hat to you, sir. How are you?
Hey, listen here. The Duke of Alabama. He knows how to jump in the pile up. We just fought, and all he screams is "Bravo, bravo!" and gets right in there. But
all I did is wait for the roar to get done and went wit.
We know, and you did it, and everybody there laughed. Like it, whole place.
That's great. What did? Okay, so there was a big discussion before you went if you were going to get another QRP radio or a key or nothing. What did you end up getting?
Well,
if anything,
all my stuff. The car's still fully packed. I basically got home and ran in just extreme. I did not get another QRP radio.
Okay.
I did not get another key, even though I was really, really close.
I'm impressed right now.
But they were sold out. And you know what? We're gonna just throw this out here. And first off, I love Bugatti. I love keys. But both Bugatti and the other N3, I cannot remember the rest of his call sign, but he makes really high quality keys. Neither one of them brought enough keys to handle Dayton. I mean, they were selling out so fast.
That's a good problem for them to have.
But maybe they wasn't expecting that Dayton was going to set record numbers this year.
Yeah.
But,
Charlie says you got a shirt.
I did get a shirt.
Very nice.
I did get a shirt.
I need a Bagali hat. Maybe they'll give me one in. I
don't know how far away Charlie knows I got a shirt.
The whole world does. There's no secrets. There's no secrets in ham radio.
How?
I don't know.
I don't even think I showed anybody my shirt.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if I'm keeping the shirt. I might give it away. It's undecided what I'm gonna do with the shirt.
You can be like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and give it away now.
Hey, speaking of giveaways, and you want to hang out with the king in your neck of the woods, and you just wonder how to do that. He does a lot of Patreon meetups, and there's a really cool thing going on that right now, thanks to Josh, Kilo 4 Lima, India. He's going to give away an ICOM radio. It is used, guys. It is used, but it's in great shape, ready to use. It's a basic starter ICOM radio. I don't remember the model number. He'll probably chime in if he's in the chat tonight. But he's going to give it away if we can get 5 new Patreons by the end of June. So just throwing that out there. If you want a chance to win the radio, it would be awesome.
I think they did an announcement in the main hall when they were announcing the raffle winners. They said, "Attention, everyone! James KE8 PZN has a new shirt."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I heard it from because I was watching somebody's live stream and I heard it in the background. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the shirt because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But what I will talk about is, oh man, I really don't know if I want to talk about that. I did get something really cool. And there's a video coming out this week about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what it is.
No,
I'm going to edit out the back. What's Craig saying?
that's not good. If he understood her talking about the lady at the Bengali booth, so the company making their shirts and hats were going out of business, and they're not going to have any more. If that's the case, I definitely need to pick some up quick. But I'm sure they'll find a different vendor to make them.
So if you would check my eBay account, you can now purchase a Bengali hat for the simple price of a camper van. This is a collector's item, if what he says is true.
That is nice.
I did get something really cool. I got a couple things really cool. But the one thing I got, I'm going to talk about it because we're going to, we picked on Terry enough. We're going to pick on the crybaby.
Which one?
Well, we only know one guy that's going to cry a whole bunch. Why don't you hurt me? Why can't you hear me? My back hurts. I can't do a teeter-totter off.
Oh yeah. Did you ever do a teeter-totter off, or maybe a hover round tug of war or anything?
So first off, he shows up and he pulls out his wallet and he pulls out this bicycle. He's got this pee-pee man bicycle, which is pretty cool. It folds up pretty small. It's bigger than his wallet, guys, but it folds up pretty cool. And he says, "I'm going to go riding up the road to talk to Michael." And he comes back. He's like, "That hill's too big. I can't ride up it." But that's not why we're calling him a crybaby. We're not going to call him a crybaby for that. We're going to call him a crybaby because something new come out this weekend from Gigaparts. And there's going to be a review on it this week. A really good review. Better than anything you have seen previously, we're just going to say. For that item. It just came out this weekend, but there is something out on it. Anyway. So a lot of you guys have tried to talk me in for a long time because, I love my spider beam. I love my spider 7-meter mast. It's just amazing. But a lot of you guys have tried to talk me into a carbon 6 forever. It's so much smaller. It's so much better. And then you go into, you just have to take out the top 2 sections. Hey, thank you very much for the name of that, Stephen. And we're glad you made it home. And it was great to hang out with Stephen. We got so much to talk about Stephen too. But anyway, so then after they try to talk you into it, they tell you just have to take out the top 2 sections of this fold that's only 20 foot long.
Right.
You just got to tear it down to like 15 foot or something because they're worthless. They won't hold up 78 gauge wire. They're too thin. And my spider beam pole, the top of it is really, really robust and it'll hold up anything. But Gigaparts went and done it again. They came out with a mast that is almost the exact size. I think it might be a little smaller than the Carbon 6. I know it's a little bit lighter because I felt them both. And if you leave all the Carbon 6 in and you run them both up, the Gigaparts one is a little bit taller. But when you're talking about taking out two pieces, you're talking 3 feet taller.
Yeah.
Already got an eyelet in the top to run you a little, carabiner or something for your antenna. This thing is awesome. But we're not here to talk about that because I'm going to do a review on it. Well, I'm going to do a first impression review this week. So that's coming out. We're talking about these things just come out that morning, and unfortunately, where they just come out, they only had time to get 4 of these things produced.
Okay. Well, just to let you know ahead of time, my address on QRZ is not good, so DM me and I'll give you my actual shipping address.
Okay. 4 of them. Okay. Now I knew about this, and I was supposed to go over there and grab one really quick. Well, I get over there and he's showing the engineer sample off to another YouTuber and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, well, I need to talk to him because I need to get my pole. Blah 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 blah. And people keep coming up while they're talking and saying, "Hey, where do I grab one of them?" And he's saying, "We're out, we're out, we're out." And I'm like, "Okay, they're out, great." Well, then he gets some of the other YouTuber, and I was like, "You're really out?" He's no, he's like, "I saved two." I was like, "They're gone." So I went and grabbed the last two. So about that time, PP Man comes around the corner with Steven and them. And I go to show him this cool new pole. He pulls out the top part. And he already, he sees the size of it, carbon 6 size, carbon 6 weight. He pulls out the top section of it. I've never seen a 9-year-old throw a tantrum like he did. I want one now. I want one now. He's attacking the gigaparts guy. You got one in your hands. You got one in your hands. He's like, this is the engineering sample. Like he is throwing an absolute 3-year-old fit. I mean, it was just crazy. He cried so hard and so many tears. So many. He was crying QRO tears.
QRO tears.
He cried so hard that he ended up getting one of my masks. But he did have to make QSOs this weekend on QRO in order to keep. And me being a good guy, I offered the other mask. Steven was looking like a little lost puppy dog as well. I offered it to him, but he said, no, you keep it at your pole. I'll get one. They're supposed to be in the next batch, which will be a lot bigger batch. It's supposed to be in 6 weeks. In a couple of weeks, they will open up a pre-order form on their webpage.
Maybe Steven didn't like the 300% markup.
And you can do the no. There was no markup. There was no markup. So, but I do have one favor, guys. Although when you go to order one off their page, my code will not work on that for 6 months. I still ask you to put my code in so they know where you guys came from. I still ask that. But you can get a ton of stuff using my code there. But this mask will change QRP. I mean, it's that cool.
Will it change QRO?
We'll put it this way. I almost think PP Man traded me his Bengali for it because he said he was more excited. He is more excited about the pole than his key.
No way.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a pole.
Yeah. I'll not tell you exactly what he said happened that hadn't happened to him in 6 years because that's an OnlyFans stream right there. But
now you just said PP Man and Bengali in the same sentence, so let me go ahead and congratulate you, PP Man, on your Bengali key. Beautiful choice in colors, by the way. I have blue as well, so very nice. Also, Steven got it in black because that's black's good too. But I like your paddles, PP. I like your paddles. I have the plastic non what's the word I'm looking for? Non-aerated paddles. The ones with all the holes in them. I don't have those. So I'm thinking about getting those metal paddles and swapping them out.
But the thing was, Steven got a comment in there that he wants you to talk about, Dan.
Don't forget to ask about PPCW activation. Yeah, how did that go, PP? Crickets?
Yeah, crickets. I think he did a QRP-CW activation.
It was very QRP.
Oh, wait. QRP really works on CWPP, man. So, no, I don't even think you did that.
Well, maybe he had his KX2 set to 0 watts into a dummy load. That would be QRP.
I will say he was practicing this morning when he woke up. He was practicing.
Yeah. PP Man just said he was able to put the mask in his cart right now at Gigaparts.
Okay.
Very interesting.
I hope you remember to use my code since I just said it 30 seconds ago. So you know, and it'll tell you that code does not work. It won't work for 6 months. Although they're also coming out with right here in the very near future a 30-foot one that is the same length. It's just a little bigger in diameter.
Nice.
And my code will work immediately with that one.
What is the what's the model number on that mask for anybody who wants to search Gigaparts for it?
Steven, you have a picture of it on your phone. Would you put that in the model number in the thing? Because my mask, everything I've got is in the car.
Yeah, or PP Man, since he just put one in his cart, he can. Thank you, ZXP Poda Zulu X-ray Papa Poda.
Listen, if you're one of those guys that like to hike in and go as small as you can go, and you like masks, if you're a spider, if you're a carbon 6 user, you need to check out this boat. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It's definitely worth it. Another thing, and I got a full interview. I had a Patreon ask me for a full interview about something specific with AVR, and I do have that full interview that will come out. But I want to tell you something really cool. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how really cool AVR is. I don't know if I'm ever going to use another coax as good as it's done it for me.
Yeah, they are very good.
I mean, the stuff is just amazing. I've used it for over a year, activation over activation. And that sleeve, which is talked about thoroughly in my interview, it makes it almost indestructible. But, I get to the show and they hand me my coax for my bike road that's coming up because you can customize coax at AVR. That's awesome. You can get whatever you want. But they hand me my coax, and it's the little tiny stuff. It's also wrapped even this little tiny stuff is wrapped because that's what I wanted. I asked for some specific things, but it was supposed to be I'm losing my words here. I'm very tired, guys. It was supposed to be what's the word I'm thinking of, Dan? I'm really drawing a blank. I use 239 on one radio, and what do I use on the BNC? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't think of BNC for some reason. That's how tired I am.
You need another 8-track branded libation.
Yeah, it was supposed to be BNC, but then I noticed that my connectors that were on that, they were both 239s. They screw off.
Really?
They screw off. And I was like, okay. So I go back to talk to him. I was like, hey, first off, when did this happen? He's like, oh yeah, we got these available now, the screw offs. He's like, I just forgot. He said, I've got a whole bag of every possible type of connector that you could want to put on there for you. I just forgot it. He's like, I'll get it out in the mail to you. So I've got my BNCs coming. But the fact that you can get your coax and just buy the adapters and not put an adapter on, a 239 and to a BNC adapter. No, you screw off the 239, which locks into place. It ain't gonna just screw off itself. It locks into place, and you just put on what you want. That is game changer.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So I'm really excited about that coax. So ended up with some nice cool coax, nice new pole. Got some other things. I got a grounding strap to go on the for the ATOS. So this week I'll probably be doing some ATOS testing, probably in horrible band conditions.
They've still been bad during the day. I mean, when the sun goes down, I heard y'all no problem on 40 meters, in the evening times, but in the day, I just don't even
Well, when you're
bother.
activating with 20 activators, it don't matter. You're going to try to hear. There were people coming out of woodwork. There were people leaving their houses and driving to parks. They would contact us and go QRT and go right back to their house.
That's funny.
Every campsite that had radios, which were all of them, all of a sudden throw on their radios and turn down the power, and come out of 60. Funny thing, the guys across the street, like, oh well, we'll just activate with him. They wanted all the call signs, even though they were on photo. And I was sitting there thinking, like, can I send them just one at a time across the road instead of and keep this pile up going? Because when you pass the mic 20 times, which we did for all the parks, unless they said we got all. A lot of people said we got all 20. But when you pass the mic 20 times, like, you got a lot of time for one contact. So, then we followed up with a 7-op activation last night.
Yeah, I saw that, and I got you on that one too. And my first thought when I saw it spotted on photo, I mean, even a 7-op activation guy, that's a big activation. That's a lot of people at one spot. But I saw that last night, and I looked at it, and I'm like, only 7.
So Andy, Mr. Rose, Mr. Rose, I'm going to give him a shout out because first off, he puts up with his wife and kids hunting me every day,
Right.
except for Sunday. He tells you he's like I get no peace with you, man. He said we're in bed, they get up. We're watching a movie, they get up. We're eating, we're driving down the road, they remote. He's like, I get no peace. And he's telling me all this, and I reach in my pocket and I pull out an 8-track sticker and I said, consolation prize. He's a great guy, but he contacts us on that activation last night, and he said only 7 because he was part of the 20 as well.
So that's the first thing I looked at. It said 7 ops. I'm like, do I even bother to hunt 7? Man.
It was a good time. Thursday when I got there, me and Terry, we picked up my media pass. Me and Terry went and activated. And then we went on the road with Larry, Steven, and James, Mr. Nuts. And the bands were horrible. I ain't gonna lie. They were just absolutely horrible. But here was the thing. Every park we did was in radius ground wave of Caesars Creek. So activating was easy. I mean, we did get, North Carolina, we got other states, but we got activated from Caesars Creek. It was just too easy to get activated in horrible band conditions.
We need to put together a 20-op activation at the 6 Fur in DC. How about that? There's plenty of room there to do it. I mean, we could set up it's DC. You might have to have a permit to do a big gathering picnic, but there's plenty of room there to do it.
There is. There's a lot of room there. And some people actually go to the right spot and do it.
Some don't.
I will say that this trip was a lot of fun for sure, and I got a lot of new ideas just going to be coming for the channel off of this specific trip. No one really specifically give them to me, but I listen to people talking, and when I hear certain things, it strikes little ideas in my head. So I got a lot of ideas, but exciting. The most exciting part was meeting all the photo people once again. I go to every ham fest every year. and I'm always meeting new people every time that I talk to all the time. So if
Yeah,
I'm
there were
in,
mentions on the Facebook page that POTA may have outgrown its little tent this year.
so I tell you, it's the POTA tent stay busy. How about this thing? So first off, shout out to them guys for coming up with POTA bingo. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But Dan, have you ever had a bingo pile up?
I have never had a bingo pilot.
I had a bingo pile up. I had a run of about 17 right in a row waiting because there were certain things that on that card that very few people could sign. You know, and it
I
was
Yeah, so I looked at that card because some people posted the card online, and I could have checked off every one of them except one box, which was the activate in an undercountry.
so yeah, it was great. It was
Yep.
absolutely a load of fun. So shout out to that. But you know, I met another ton of people, you know, that I've never met before again in POTA, and it just stopped. And a lot of people that I have, but you know, I'll tell you something exceptional that happened to me. It meant a lot to me. I got to meet Jeremy from Alaska.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, I saw his pictures on Facebook. Yep.
I've been friends with. Yeah, I know that picture made me look really fat. Really, I mean, the way something was pulling my shirt, and it made it because
You know,
Jeremy's actually not that much smaller than me, but it looks like I'm beasting him.
the camera adds 30 pounds, right?
Yeah, it wasn't enough to says I'm going on a diet now after that seeing that picture. But I got to meet Jeremy, and that was just really amazing to me. Me and Jeremy have been friends for a long time. Jeremy was one of the first maybe 10 live streams. Him and Dwayne and Doug, because they were going to Alaska to do that photo road. So, and we've been friends forever. He tried to get down to Huntsville a couple years ago. Matter of fact, I was picking him up in Nashville, but I finally got to meet him, and that was awesome. You know, I got to meet the soda couple that we had on the stream. Um, the ones that I love to confuse their call signs. I got to meet them for the
Yeah.
first time in person. I got to meet the guy who we had that had the van. You know, we had Scott with the car, and then the guy I got to meet him. He was at the Troll Pub hanging out.
Right.
So it's so cool just to go. I can care less if I got anything at these shows. It's just going and hanging out with these people.
I'm the same way. You get to meet new people, and also you get to catch up with the people that maybe you haven't seen since the last show, and some of those people you haven't seen in a year.
I'll tell you what, and it's not just the youth that makes me happy either. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give a shout out to Steven. I'm not really sure how he got booted out of Mom and Dad's wheel and I got put in it, but that's beside the point. I'm going to give a shout out to him because I'm actually jealous of Steven. I'm really, really jealous of Steven with the relationship he has with his dad and him radio. I'm super jealous of that because his dad was like a kid in a candy store, and he found out that he's getting a KX2 from Steven. It's already been. And
Yeah.
this guy was walking around lit up like a Christmas. Listen, he was walking around. He was as cocky as a 21-year-old that done got his first 22 beers in him in the first night. It was just amazing. We had so much fun, and it was just great. So shout out to Steven. I even met Steven's new girl, and I really I approve of her, but she's only can be let into the fold, Dan,
I
if
know.
it's the vanity call that I told her.
I
I'm
know.
not going to mention. Well, I can mention what the call is. The call is Kilo Delta 9 Sierra Sierra.
Sugar.
That's the call that she has to get. She knows why. Nobody else needs to know why, but that's the call she needs to get. Hey, thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat. We appreciate you.
Sorry, I was placing an order. All right, so 2 people so far have ordered the ZXP POTA 20 from Gigapart so far today, Steven and myself. I just posted the link.
Oh, Steven ordered it too?
Yeah, and I just posted the link in chat, so everybody go
And
click on
make
it.
sure when you go to checkout, even though it'll say invalid code, to put in A-Track. Or wait 6 months on it and order it and get a discount. Whatever, but get it now. Well, you're going to wait 6 weeks anyway.
I just got a text message from Uniform Delta Victor that they are both, him and Dad are enjoying the stream right now. So thank you very much, guys, and glad you had a fun weekend and picked up some goodies.
Hey, we had a blast with those guys. I mean,
it was nuts.
So first off, Discord controlled 3 campgrounds together. Okay, we had 110, 111, and 112, and we had Steven, his dad, and his girlfriend on one. The next side had PP Man, Zulu Romeo X-Ray, and his son.
What Romeo X-Ray?
Zulu Romeo X-Ray.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the next
now
side,
I know who you're talking about.
Then the next side. Hey, thank you very
Speaking of Zulu Romeo X-Ray.
The next site had myself, now known as Grandpa Terry. We'll get into that too. Uncle Terry is a thing of the past. He is now Grandpa Terry.
Okay.
And Patrick, Kilo Yankee 4 Alpha X-Ray. So we had 7 Discorders in 3 sites right together.
That could be dangerous.
And let me tell you, we had some fun. It's there's no way we could mention it all. We're almost at a stream now, and I ain't even talked half about what happened at Hamvention. We'll probably do a Wednesday stream about Hamvention, the non-cut on people type maybe.
The funniest part about talking about Hamvention is we could probably talk for hours. Not we. I didn't go. He can probably talk for hours about it, but still, some things that happen at Hamvention stay at Hamvention.
Oh yeah, some things, but some things don't. Ain't
That's
that right? Stephen, we already talked about Terry's tent guest. We talked about how they've been secretly dating for a while, and he went to Murphy and picked her up to take her.
Yeah, and I asked if they were sleeping nose to nose or if they were spooning.
We talked about all that stuff. So, but I will give Terry a shout out. So
what?
Every time I went to the bathroom at Dayton, Terry offered to hold it for me. Every time.
Okay. All right, so the question, so along that line, did you come home? I mean, I know you haven't unpacked your car yet, so you probably don't know for sure, but do you think you have the same number of pairs of underwear now than you did when you left?
I know for a fact that he tried to steal some underwear. And I'm going to show you how I know. Because I'm going to pull out my phone when I happen to be unloading his car. And I'm going to try to squeeze this out a little bit here so you guys can see on the camera because it's on my phone. Let's see if we can get just. Do you see what his car did?
I see.
That is a pair of my underwear hid in his car. He did, in fact, I have picture proof. He did, in fact, try to steal another pair of underwear.
That is great.
I mean, what's a person going to do?
Oh, Larry got a picture of Dave and Annabelle. The Annabelle is a blast. She is a hoot to talk to, hoot to be around. They are an awesome people. I love them both.
Absolutely. Oh, we forgot to talk about Mr. Oscar Tango.
Oh, ta-ta.
Exactly. So he found out that we were calling him QO4 Oh ta-ta because that's what they were calling him at the meetup, and evidently he didn't know they were calling him that at the meetup.
He knows told him
about it. So he comes in the pile now. Now, mind you, there was a high noise level on last night's activation. There's also 6 other activators that are talking around me. I've probably had about an hour's sleep in like 3 days. And I may or may not have had a little bit of fun at the Troll Pub.
Oh, you mean with the 8-track branded libations?
No.
Okay.
There was no 8-track branded stuff. But he comes in, and I hear the Kilo 4, but the way he says "oh ta ta" sounded like Golf Hotel, and I was like, the Golf Hotel station, nothing. He comes in again. I'm like, the Golf Hotel station, and everybody's hearing it, and then all of a sudden he's like, Kilo 4, oh ta ta, and I just lose it laughing.
You need to, Andrew, you need to come up with a signature move now. Now that we've branded you Otata, you have to come out with a signature way of saying it. I suggest something like Kilo 4, oh, ta-ta.
Listen,
And it'll stick out. It'll stick out in every pilot.
It was even, listen, the 7 activator was even so great that the whole time we activated, people are so used to PP Man signal being so weak. Everybody got 5 9s and PP Man would get a 5 1 every time. And we had a new kind of stalker. About every 5 or 6 QSOs, we would hear meep 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 meep.
Oh, the Roadrunner.
Oh,
that is funny.
I'll tell you another funny story. Also, on the way home, me and Terry stopped and activated, and there was a vid that kept trying to tune on me. At the very beginning, I said, "Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use?" He tunes up. I sat there for a minute, nothing. I said, "Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency up?" He tunes up. I was like, "Tuner, you're 5 9." He tunes up again. I said, "Awesome, man. That's really cool. What kind of antenna are you running?" He tunes up again. I was like, "For real? What kind of radio are you running?" Silent for a minute. I was like, "No, really, what kind of radio?" He tunes up again. I was like, "That is so awesome, dude. I just want you to know you're 5 9 in my park today. I really appreciate you for the contact. Hey, thanks a lot in 73. QRZ." And I just start going CQ.
That is hilarious.
I had a full conversation with a tuner.
All right, three gigaparts mask have been ordered so far just from this stream.
Just from them streams.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. Just pick one up.
Oh. So good deal.
Well, I'm glad everybody had a blast. I'm glad everybody got there safe.
Those ain't going to come in for at least 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks is what it says, and it's fine.
I can promise you that. So
I'm glad everybody had a blast at Dayton next year, 2025. I hope to see everybody there, and I'm glad everybody made it home safely. If you're home and if you're still traveling, travel safe.
Absolutely.
Make that 4 gigaparts mask.
Hey, you guys are killing it. You won't regret it. I mean, I appreciate you guys just ordering them just off my word how cool they are. But there's a first impression review coming out this week, so you guys will get it. You guys will get a better look. There's actually a couple cool things that I'm going to be reviewing this week. That can be game changers, I think. So Stephen said I ordered 2 technically. Of course you did, Stephen.
He's an overachiever.
Although, and I have a really great interview with John from Yazoo coming up, but it's not going to be what you expect. I promise you. It was something that was talked about one night on Discord. Some of you guys can remember exactly what I'm talking about. It is a very controversial topic, and I've got the interview and why things are the way they are.
Mike, good to see you, buddy. I think YO has 2 hours more before he's to the house. Drive safely, my friend.
Hey, it was good to see Mike at the show. Oh, me and Mike had a long CW rag shoe. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, good. Listen, I would go over every Patreon that I got to see and hang out with the show, but I'm telling you, it was too many. But let me tell you, all the Patreons I've seen, all the POTA people that I've seen, it was awesome seeing each and every one of you guys. You know, all the people that I met for the first time. It's just crazy. I had a really great talk with somebody before I left about Poda family, and I thought she was going to be in tears. I'm not going to say because I'm telling the story the way I'm telling it, you know. And she told me, she said thank you. She said, you know, I don't have very much family, and to hear you say something like that just really warms my heart, and that's why we do what we do, you know. When one of you guys who hunt me all the time disappear, you can ask the ones who's disappeared a couple times before. I message you and I find out what's wrong. You know, if it's life, that's cool. If something's wrong, I want to know. You know, because if there's something I can do to help, I want to help. Because you guys are family to me. You know, I don't care if we've only said 5-9 at Wild Wild Park. Thanks for hunting me again, 73. If we've said that 50 or 100 times, you're family. I don't care. So, guys, thanks for all the donations. Charlie or Tank probably have a stream. I don't know because they're traveling as well. But we're gonna hop off there and let them do it. Now, before you guys even say, "Are you doing a late shift?" It's doubtful. I've got to unload the car. If I take off my shoes, my feet are gonna not go back in them because they're extremely swollen. I'm in a lot of pain, but it was worth it all. So. Make an Eagle One Mini out of his ZX.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. But anyway, thank you guys. This week, lots of videos coming out. I don't know if I'll keep my normal order of TikTok short live stream video because it might just be video. There will be a live stream on Wednesday. So thanks a lot, guys. 73, everybody. And we'll catch you on the air.
73, guys.